It's week 2 of the National Football League, and we get to watch Brian Robinson Jr. He had a nice effort a week ago with a pair of touchdowns. It's the Commanders and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now the third-year man back and healthy. It's Javonte Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Williams. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now, this defense for the Commanders is terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
You talk about getting off to a hot start, a shutout right out of the gate. Think of the carryover headed into this one, the residue of that game. That means excellent practices, guys alert, ready to go. They'd love to hang a second one right here, right now. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders set to go to work on offense, and they've handed the controls to this man in his 2nd NFL season, former Tar Heel Sam Howell.
Howell got the nod from Commanders leadership to be the team starter this year. A nice bump for last year's 5th-round pick. 1 start as a rookie and didn't look bad at all, winning the team's finale. And let's not forget, this is a guy who was once viewed as a 1st-round pick, so there's plenty of promise hidden beneath the surface.
Now the 2nd-year man from Alabama, it's Brian Robinson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he'll work down inside the 45. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bates. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
It's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he's got this down to the 35. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Jamin Davis, the one to get up from his linebacker spot and make that play. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Keeps himself upright, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So
under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a 2-point lead in hand, they may not do anything too aggressive here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. Fights loose. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. And that flag accepted. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll go play action. Howell steps away. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So we're at halftime. Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the 3rd quarter here. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Now it's Crowder. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, this is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it with Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. They'll run again here with Robinson. To the 43, 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Off play action. It's Howell. Rolling to his left. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Commanders are back within a score. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And he will get into the end zone as they will indeed claim a 1-point lead. And the option play working flawlessly right there. What'd you think of the call?
Love the call. That's really football 101 to me. 2-point conversion, run quarterback option. That means he can either keep it himself or pitch it to a trailing back. That usually opens things up for an offense.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Wilson to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Up the middle, it's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Out to his left. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And running with power here. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Robinson up the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. This is 1st and 10. Robinson with another carry. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll run with Robinson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year, his 5th overall. And the Commanders go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Hal throwing for it. Buying time to his left. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So here is Wilson and the Broncos. Down by 7. A little over 80 ticks to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. Here's Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. That's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It's 1st and goal, an elite touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Robinson will take this one in. Touchdown, Washington. So how about this start to a year? Fantasy owners take note. 2 rushing touchdowns in the opener. 2 more here in week 2.
So a nice pickup by 2 entities. 1, this team for making sure they acquired this guy. And 2, anyone who plays fantasy who has him on their team.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So now the story changes. Trailing in this one now. At time, a huge factor. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got 1 final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Commanders, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.